so cute.
That's full zoom.
Mike also.
See, I'm really curious about the fact that, like, there are hermit crabs with shells at this depth, so there must be snails that we're also maybe not seeing. They might be really well camouflaged against this basalt or this manganese, but those are some very, very cute hermit crabs.
So where do hermit crabs find their shells? Do
So
they make them?
normally they've grabbed them from abandoned shells.
Can we do a photo grid here, please?
Yes. How much of the sponges
yeah,
do you want to get?
try to get as much as possible. Maybe if we could start from this view right here. Let's see. I don't know, maybe a couple meters starboard side, and then start from starboard and kind of go towards port. So I'm looking at the view from Argus. Right. So I see a couple sponges like towards the top left.
Right.
So maybe go, let's see, how can I explain this?
Do
Like
we have
diagonal?
a stick of science over here?
Yeah, so we can maybe do like a rectangular grid. I wonder,
do you want to get these?
how, yeah, and maybe a little further up too, more
So
to the
like
left, yeah.
this?
Yeah, about how big do you think that is, that area?
If you're checking out channel 3, you can see the stick of science.
I can just kind of go to this corner.
Yeah, start in there,
And basically, I mean, it'll be a lopsided box if we do it this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can just keep going until we get whatever you want, instead of saying like locking ourselves into a 10 by 10 or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just to kind of, exactly, to get a grid over that area to kind of capture those sponges and the structures down, yeah, down on that right corner
So
too.
I
I think there's some
start
stuff.
here and go this way, and then we'll know the length. And then step over and just do this. Do it this way?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
The stick of
Should we
science.
take bets
It's
on
the
how
stick
big
of
it should
science.
be?
That was
Or
just
how
on
big it
channel
will
3.
be?
And the ship stopped, correct? So we're good to start.
The
ship
when
is
cameras are
stopped,
ready.
yeah.
I think we're all stable there. That's
Perfect.
How long should our track length be?
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up over here, and I'm just gonna put in a move of like, I'm gonna arbitrarily say like 10 or
say it's
maybe
12 by
15.
12.
Right.
Maybe I'll just do 20.
Right.
And then we'll just watch in Argus because it's a perfect view right now. And as I get up there and we'll watch on the video, if we start to like trail off and not get anything, I'll just stop and I'll bump over.
But how long do we
then
want like
come
our
back.
track
14 by
to
12.
show?
Our track over here.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Just so that I don't cut it off in the middle again.
So that's weird that they do it by
It's by seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
Jesus. Why can't they do it by pings?
I don't know.
1 million.
1 million?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That was sarcasm.
6,000.
I
If
mean,
we do
this could
6,000, that's
This could take
That's 100.
it's
30
100 minutes.
That's way too much.
That's 10 minutes. Okay. Let's do like 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Is that right?
Did you get stills of this sponge? Awesome.
Is that math? Is that how you math?
I did get stills. I'll take a few more. A lot of coral fragments, coral rubble here.
So the view that's on Herc right now, so will that be included in the grid?
Eventually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to get some of those
Can I?
structure there as well.
Okay.
And then all the sponges, of course.
Before we auto XY, should we? No, I think it's close enough. Okay. Let me start the camera.
So might have to do some adjustments because I have to do this pretty pretty high up, so I don't knock any of the sponges over.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be more like 5.5, 6 meters up.
5.5, 6 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how it looks.
Yeah.
Because we can't change the focal depth of the camera.
Okay.
Peyton, I generated the ID if you want to grab that.
Grabbing it now.
Is Argus zoomed all the way out?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just kind of low.
Yeah, can we bring Argus up a little bit? Yeah, see what we can...
Do you want me to just kind of keep these in the field of view?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's going to be our...
What's the extent like this last
And then what are
ones over
the...
here? Or
Yeah, I don't think we're worried about those three. I think we just
What?
want to get
What are
this
the
main stuff
dimensions of
here.
this photo grid, or are we still deciding that?
We're still deciding. We're going to
Okay.
see
We could also,
as we go.
when we're along the line that includes those 3 that are further out, maybe just in that area we kind of stick out a little more.
Right.
Or we could do, yeah, maybe we just make that strip a little longer.
so you do
Doesn't-
want those left 3 ones?
Yeah, if we could include them, or we could do it separate at the end and just do a smaller one,
Okay.
if that would be easier.
It might be
Maybe that,
easier,
maybe
yeah.
that's easier. Yeah, that's fine.
So it looks like...
I'm all set with
You're
the
all set?
camera. Yep. So whenever you're ready.
And you think 1 meter steps is good for overlap?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to plug in 20 and see if that takes us all the way
To the end.
to that. And if it doesn't, I can just stop and then that's our distance. And we can
Okay.
check our distance there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to mark that.
Yeah, so let's get a good USBL hit. Good
Hey
cluster.
Peyton, what's that interesting floating thing?
I think that's another siphonophore.
It's a what?
Siphonophore. They're
Siphonophore.
colonial
Jinx.
organisms related, so they're in Nigeria. They're singing organisms, and they're really cool because they're kind of, think of it as like a coral colony, but that's mobile, because each zooid, that's like an individual organism that is genetically identical to the rest, has a different job. It's like a separate individual, but it lives as part of the colony.
Like a Portuguese man of war?
Yes, that's another example of a siphonophore. So in like the Portuguese man of war, there are zooids that sting. There are zooids that form sort of that big air sac at the top. I'm gonna wait for a sec.
The focal point, the focal point, the ideals, you said 3 to 4 meters above? Okay, and we're at 5, 6, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
But to get back to it, and then others will be used for like propulsion. Others will like be for reproduction and so on. So each zooid has a different job in the colony.
Okay, we're gonna start.
All right.
Can you note the depth, please, Peyton?
Already noted.
Great, thank you.
1475 meters.
So for our viewers who might not have seen the last one, could we describe what the images are that are on the satellite 3 feed if you're on the quad on the lower left?
For sure. I am on the party line. So we are currently doing a photo mosaic survey. So we are going to be going in a lawnmower pattern over, if you look at the Argus feed, over all these sponges right here. And essentially, we're taking the photos in, you said, the third video feed?
Since that 3 on the lower left of the quad.
Okay. And these are cameras that are pointed straight down and are perpendicular to the bottom. And we have 2 stereo cameras, and because they're stereo, we're able to get measurements off of them. We're able to make a 3D map and determine heights and distances by comparing the slightly different points on each camera. So it's like having 2 eyes versus 1 eye, so we're able to have a depth perception.
I'm good.
And cameras are from the Chris Roman lab, and they are used to overlap and get a general idea of an area or a strip. And by having, sorry, just a sec. By having overlapping points in each photo, we can overlay all the photos and create one huge image of this seafloor bottom, and even create a 3D model of it, which another science member, Jessica, who was on the last watch, she is on the ship to work on that. So that's kind of the idea of these photos, and I think I hit most stuff. You can chime in if I missed anything. I got slightly distracted in the middle.
Sounded great, Lily.
Greetings to our friends from Barbados. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in.
So we're going to shorten it maybe to 18 meters.
Peyton, can you finish telling me how hermit crabs get their shells?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the whole story is they'll find abandoned shells that are either left behind by usually like snails that have been eaten or died, and then they'll move in based on their size. As they get larger, they'll actually scooch into a new shell that matches their size better. Remember when I was talking about molting, that thing that arthropods do? Mm-hmm. So because hermit crabs rely on other animals' shells to provide protection, they're actually not as vulnerable when they molt. Right, because normally you would be soft, you wouldn't have any protection, while hermit crabs always have something hard around them, except when they need to swap. Mm-hmm. And when they do swap, they do it really fast, like in a couple of seconds they're in and out of like their old shell and trying out a new one. because the closer the fit, the better it's going to provide protection and the easier it will be to move it around.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't take shells from the beach.
Yeah, in moderation.
You can even buy clear plastic shells. So if you have a hermit crab at home, you can actually see what they look like.
Yeah, I remember I would do some hiking back home on Tutuila, and I would see hermit crabs with glass jars as their home.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was pretty crazy.
Oh, man.
That's a cool picture.
Continue to send in those questions, viewers. Love to answer some for you. We are currently just off of Swains Island, diving at about 1,500 or so meters, and we are in the process of taking some pictures using some special equipment from the Chris Roman lab at the University of Rhode Island, and we are creating a essentially photo mosaic that can also be turned into a 3D model of this area. We're going to be diving until about 8 o'clock today, American Samoa time, which is about 5 hours or so away. It's currently just before 3 a.m. local time.
Yeah, that's fine.
It would be nice to see her.
Okay, just a minute.
We'll get there.
Give me one more second. I want to see. Okay, we're on the edge. Go for it. I just wanted to check out the overlap.
Great question about the transects that we undergo. Those fish survey transects are only 100 meters in length. And they're typically in the same direct path that we started. And as we go, we try to document and then get some stills as well as video close-ups of what fish we see. We haven't seen very many through the fish transects we've done so far. Not a lot at depth. We're still pretty deep.
1471.
To be precise.
Which is, convert this at home, kids. What in bar? Pressure.
Yeah.
Or PSI, I'll take either.
What in bar?
The pressure. Just a fun at-home thing to do. No using apps.
All in the
Or
head?
calculators. Well, you can use a calculator, you can't use an app.
Into bar?
Yeah.
Or into what?
Either. Bar or PSI.
Okay. Bar is a lot easier.
You said 1471?
Yeah. Ooh, or
Or
never mind.
It's,
Well, they have like a cool.
just under 147 atmospheres.
It's so cool that you did that math in your head, Brian.
I'm good.
He's really good.
I have a gift.
There's a really good graphic on the Nautilus, and they describe like it's like being under 15 jumbo jets or something. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, we have it
Yeah, what is
written
that
out
from?
in our notebook.
It's actually a really
the
cool way
studio.
to like think about it. Like, wow, that's
it's a lot of pressure.
a
We
lot of
have-
bars.
We
A
do
lot
it
of
in
bars.
jets, semi-trucks, and
Yeah.
Empire State Buildings,
I
I
like
think.
those analogies.
So 100, just under 147 atmospheres means it's 147 times what we would experience at sea level, which is 1 atmosphere. Pretty intense. Unless your name is Summer, then you can handle it. Yeah, she's got it.
She's got it.
Why not 147 more atmospheres? Give me a challenge.
All right. Inches of mercury. Riddle me that.
Oh, from when they still used mercury to measure pressure?
4,396 and 2900ths.
Inches of mercury.
Look
how
how
many-
fast he is with that math in his
How
head.
many
So fast.
bars did you just say it was?
147,
147.
147.
I think he said.
And what did you say it was in inches of mercury?
In bars, it's 148,875. And
Dang, he's
Inches
just a
of
whiz at
mercury.
math over there.
Yeah, you should see him
4,396
scribbling
and
away on his paper
2900ths.
right now. Not even using the eraser. So
I
impressive.
got the sig figs down.
Yeah.
Summer, is inches of mercury still a commonly used term or unit?
No, not really.
No, I was just trying to find an arbitrary thing for Brian, who wanted a challenge over there to
You
convert.
know, for his
For
math, mental math.
Yeah.
His early morning
Only.
mental math wake up.
How many PSI is in 1 atmosphere? 14.7?
7.
Okay.
14.7, yeah.
Or in this case, for
Oh, here we go.
2,159 and 2600ths. But who's
Megapascal.
counting? Oh. That is 1 and 48,875 millionths times 10 to the 10th power.
How long is a league per, like how many? We're going
How
length
many
now.
watts are, is a league?
I'll say how many.
It's a distance measurement.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
at how many? You just said.
It's a league long.
Okay, meters.
How
Give
big
me
is a
it-
league?
Give me it in meters.
I don't know.
Or convert it.
I gotta ask Brian over here because he
Yeah.
definitely knows it.
I'm
He's
working
getting
it
out his
out.
protractor.
No, he's gotta take out a slide rule really quick.
Uh, 5,556 meters, I believe,
Are in a league.
in 1 league.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm
Why?
out
Wow,
of
Brian,
miles.
how do I get as good as you at mental math?
Well, Peyton, let me tell you, I'm a
Yeah, so
wise,
When you get
grizzled
as
veteran.
old as Brian, you start knowing a
You
bunch
get
of
as
stuff.
old-
You just kind of know
Basically-
it.
When you
It just
spend
comes to you.
a week and a half on a vessel, you know, things just start to come to you.
Mhm.
yeah, it's like a 0.4 miles.
A league?
Yeah, it's less than half a mile.
1
Nautical
nautical
mile.
league is 3 and
0.38.
45,234 hundred thousandths of a mile.
Wow.
Wow.
How many feet are in a nautical mile? I know that one without looking it up.
18,228 and 3/10.
What? No.
No. Feet in
Oh,
a nautical mile?
Nautical league.
Nautical mile.
Nautical league. That's new.
Whoops.
6,076.
Yeah.
0.5611 or something.
Nailed it.
Who comes up with these? Like,
There's
why?
another one that's a
I
furlong.
How
don't know.
much did you say?
6,076.
A
And
furlong
12
is a measurement.
hundredths.
Furlong
Oh,
is a
so
measurement.
in other words, Bowditch was wrong. You gotta trust Google.
There's 9.2 furlongs in a nautical mile. Because why not know that?
How many nanometers in a nautical
And
mile?
all of our viewers just turned off their lights.
Yeah.
Do you know acre foot
They're
is a
conversion
is a
nuts.
volume measurement?
Acre foot is a volume?
Acre foot.
Is it just an acre and then 1 foot up?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
What do
it's a-
you measure with acre feet?
How much water you're gonna field with?
Huh, that makes
That's
sense.
what I was going to say.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have another riddle. You guys ready?
42.
No, that's the answer to the ultimate question of the universe, life, and everything.
I'm glad someone knows that reference.
I'm actually reading those books right now. I just finished the 3rd one. I wanted to
Nice.
bring them out, but I have like all of them in one, so it's this giant like
a-
brick of a book.
It's a tomb.
It's a tomb. So I couldn't bring them out, but yeah, it's one of the funniest books I think I've ever read. Let's see. People might have heard this one. It was in Scrubs if you guys watch that show, but you have 2 coins that add up to 30 cents, and one of them's not a nickel.
Oh, yeah. I know it.
You know it?
Yeah.
Let people think for a minute.
Okay.
It's a. Can I say it? Or no?
Do you know it?
It's a quarter and a nickel because it said one of them's not a nickel, so one of them can still be a nickel.
The other one is.
The
well, that's a
other
quarter.
one is a nickel. You knew it.
I actually thought that one.
Okay.
Anthony can check.
You
can
didn't, you didn't, you didn't
You
get
didn't
anything.
cheat.
Or
Okay,
Scott,
okay.
Scott got nothing. Scott Scapazzi.
Scott, come on.
That way I can like enter that weird room.
The green glass door.
Yeah.
Wait.
Scott, what's your middle name?
Which Scott are you talking about now?
Scott Scapazzi, what's your middle name?
James.
What?
James.
No, it's Samuel now.
Samuel.
Scott Samuel
Samuel.
Scapazzi. SS. Your initials make you a snake. Scott Samuel Scapazzi.
SSP,
Something
Secure
flying
Shell
by.
Protocol.
Species Survival Plan, SSP.
Hey Peyton, do you know what that is that's in the heart cam right now? The little thing flying by?
I'm gonna say it's probably another shrimp. Yeah. Norel beat me to it.
a shrimp.
I just nodded my head. Yes, probably.
Where are you looking?
It just
It
went
just
through.
swam
It's gone
through.
now.
I totally missed it.
Thruster fodder.
Can we
Oh no!
can we zoom with Herc
that
while
the
we're doing this?
Aquatic
What do you wanna zoom
equivalent of
I
snark.
I
can
don't know
zoom in on Herc if you
anything.
need to.
Just anything that's interesting.
Can
Let's
I zoom
find a
in?
new species, you guys.
On anything?
Let's explore.
Ooh.
Is there anything living on the whip? It totally looks like a pipe cleaner.
Those are pretty
There
long.
goes
Drive
a
by
shrimp.
shrimp.
Bye, shrimp.
Bye, shrimp. Bye,
Photo
shrimp.
Cruising
bombs.
by.
Gotta figure out where he is to focus on the guy.
It's okay, we're using the camera on the bottom, so.
So much coral wreckage.
There is a lot.
Yeah, coral wreckage.
We're going to try to capture that stuff right there, and then we're going to do those separately.
We might skip those. I'm gonna see where we are on time once we're done.
Okay, roger
Yeah,
that.
let's kind of see.
There's some circular things on the floor beneath the lasers. That
This helped.
anemones? Or just
Those
rocks?
are they dead anemone bits?
Oh, to the left there?
Yeah.
Like, did they used to be something?
Or just the bases of corals that got knocked off?
Maybe.
Because it looks like, what is it called, a accretion?
Accretion disk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stepping up my game. Stepping up my game. I was inspired by Scott Samuel Scapazzi. What's the white thing to the base of the sponge? Just another bleached coral.
Yep.
You see that little guy?
Yeah.
There's a little thing there.
Hello.
That's an anemone?
Come back.
It's kind of like similar to what we saw yesterday.
There's one that blends in really well, just right to the lasers too.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder if those will show up in the photo mosaic.
What is that?
Like all of those little anemones that we're zooming in on, I wonder if that'll show up in the photo mosaic.
I mean, some of them that Jessica showed us were pretty detailed, so they might.
Oh, she finished some.
Well, just ones that we had seen, previous ones that she had done, not ones from this cruise.
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's pretty good
Yeah.
resolution. I mean, with this one, because we're higher up than what the camera is in order to focus well, maybe we might not get, I mean, you might be able to see them, but maybe not in as much detail because the camera's not as in focused. We're about 6 meters up, and it's
Yeah.
preferable for 3 to 4 meters, I believe Willie said.
Yeah, it's about a 3 to 4 meter
Yeah, so
focus range.
I'm sure the sponges at least will still come out pretty
yeah,
decent.
the sponges should show up
Yeah.
With all of their
because
lattice
they're
work, you
pretty
think?
tall.
I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see once we
I don't know, if
create
you're
the
looking at
model.
the camera pictures, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, let me go back to those.
Not quite as much detail as we could probably see if we were closer, but you can
Yeah,
see
they don't look too bad.
Yeah. I mean, these are very, very high def cameras.
We might still be able to get, yeah, they might not.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, these sponges are huge.
So Lily, what's the turnaround on stitching together these images?
Sorry,
something-
what? I didn't hear you.
What's the turnaround on stitching together these images? Is it just something that gets plugged through the computer and it does its thing, or is this something that requires kind of human direct interaction?
A little bit of both. So it is, it requires human interaction to go in at first because I started the survey way before we actually started moving. And so there's just a lot of like those images while Herc is balancing and all that stuff. So those need to go in and be cut off, and then and then you run it through the software program, and it identifies all of the points matching between all of the photos, and overlays them all. And then you go in, and then you have to go through all those photos and see, because it's like a lattice of points. It's like a web. So each time you enter a new point, it kind of pulls the photo into a different place and adjusts it and tilts it differently. So you have to kind of go through and make sure all the points actually do line up. And if they don't, you need to adjust it until the pictures. So it's like you run it through a camera and it does all the, like, it puts millions of points throughout the entire mosaic, but to make sure, because there's edge effects when they overlap, so to make sure they actually overlap properly, you need to kind of go in and tweak the points and stuff. So it takes a few weeks to do, for one person to sit down and do it. We had an intern one year I was there, and then the other we kind of all just took turns.
Yeah.
We also have, it didn't end up coming out on this cruise, but in our lab we have a Lagrangian float that does just the mosaics. So it doesn't have the stereoscope. I believe it only has one camera on it. I think we can attach two cameras, but that one, it's a Lagrangian float, so it just kind of goes with the current, is what Lagrangian means. And so it rotates and spins based on how the current is floating it, but it has an altimeter. So it's at a constant height from the ground, but it'll be at different angles. So that one, the program has to rotate the photos, whereas this one, our photos are all the same, facing the same way. So it's a little easier, and it's easier for the program to work it out and get it more correct. But yeah, it could take a week or a few weeks depending on how intensely someone will work on it.
So you guys are leaving with a good bit of homework by the end of this cruise.
I'm not. I graduated. But yeah, the Roman lab is, that's for sure.
Future grad students.
Future grad students. Or that's what you give the undergrad intern. Go do the tedious.
That's you, Peyton. Continue to send in those questions for us. Greetings to our Portuguese viewer. All right, Lily, what's the next riddle?
Let's see. I have one. It's not really a riddle. It's more of a thought question. That a counselor at my camp, his name was Pun, and he always asked these, like, not trick, but question to make you think and consider something. So there are 10 body parts that only have 3 letters in them, and these aren't slang words, they're nothing like that. What are the 10 body parts?
Leg, arm,
Ear.
ear. Nice.
Eye.
Toe.
Toe.
How many more do we have?
5 more?
Leg,
Just one
arm,
more.
ear, toe.
We got
Lip.
6.
Yes?
What was it?
Are they
Lip.
all external
Lip.
body parts?
Oh, lip. Yeah.
No.
So stomach.
Only 3
Three
letters.
letters.
Tum.
No.
Tum.
That is a slang word.
Zit.
Was toe
No.
said? Was toe said?
Toe was said.
I guess
Hip.
it's zit. Is it hip? Nice.
Yeah,
Got
hip.
all of them?
No, I think we're
Hip.
at 7.
Whoever said hip, yep.
Oh, someone said hip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is gums.
Mm,
Gum, like singular?
Yes.
One of them?
Gum.
okay. That's 8. 2 more.
2 more.
Was ear said?
Ear was said.
Okay. I missed the beginning, sorry.
You're good.
I'm a little behind.
That was weird. How did that line get so long?
I don't know.
What
Well,
is it?
you started.
What about ACL and MCL?
No.
ACL.
Oh.
We started like there. So somehow.
I must have pushed in the wrong.
Also, it looks like it kind of overlapped. I don't know if there is a current going southeast.
Let's
But
step back up to our start point here.
what is this green line? Maybe it's this. I'm gonna switch the coloration around on these
Yeah.
just for a sec.
What about guts?
No, that's a slang.
Rib?
Yes, rib.
Ah, one more.
9.
What about jaw?
Yes,
Hey,
jaw.
there you go.
Was that chat assisted?
No, it was not.
Nope.
It was definitely not chat
Was it
assistant.
Google assisted? Excuse you.
Brian.
This is in an internet. Actually, it's not an internet-free zone, but
We'd reached an impasse.
Internet free riddle answering.
Well, the audience says bum could be one of them.
No, that's more of a slang term, a colloquialism.
Yeah, then you won't like some of the other ones submitted.
Yeah.
Oh no. Alright.
So what color should I make Hercules? What color would show up
Fuchsia.
against the screen?
Wait,
Fuchsia
won't
would
that-
show up.
It's not, yeah.
Well, do you want to
Reset
wait on that?
the-
Because otherwise it's going to reset the
Oh,
path.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Well, if you
Good
do,
call, Peyton.
Yeah,
afterwards,
good call, Narelle.
if you change it to fuchsia, that means Peyton has to draw and color it that
No, I do
in his
not.
illustrations.
Okay,
So you just
I'm
want me to
making
like
it
pull up an
fuchsia.
Instagram filter and make all my art fuchsia? Is that what you want?
Fuchsia.
I just want to find obscure colors.
Fuchsia's not that obscure.
It's not that
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse.
Chartreuse? How about some cyan?
Chartreuse.
Cyan's not a-
Cyan is the most basic.
Yeah.
Chartreuse is one of those colors that I imagine to be like a fuchsia pink color in my head, but I know it's a like lime green.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the colors that just doesn't compute in my head.
It sounds feminine, maybe.
I guess.
Charlotte.
You're
I don't know,
saying
it
it's
just
not
sounds like
pinkish?
dense.
No,
as
it's
a
like
word. It's heavy.
kind of the color of the back of this background right now. It's green. Google it.
No way.
Yeah.
It's like a light
That's
The
not
one
how
thing
I
you're not
imagined
going to
it at all.
Google.
That's not how I imagined it at all, Lily. Jeez.
Right? It's not the color you think it is.
Yeah. What the heck?
Chartreuse.
vermilion.
Vermilion. Is it-
Vermilion. That's a random
When
color.
I type in chartreuse, the liquor comes up.
It is kind of greenish, though.
I was just gonna
They put it in a green bottle.
Yeah.
I think the liquor itself is clear.
Probably.
Three.
Discussing alcohol on
Chartreuse.
my live stream.
There you go.
Oh no.
That's not what I imagined. Chartreuse being. Chartreuse.
The liquor is not quite what you imagine it is either. Our survey is just gonna have a little tail end right there.
And delete those,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not on paper, but I did record it digitally. Do you want me to find it right now? Okay.
Readings, Czech Republic.
Ooh. How many
we started
viewers do we have
moving
right now,
at,
Brian?
1347, which was
150.
about 1347. That's about 40
Is that
minutes
considered
ago.
high or
Welcome.
average?
I don't know.
Let me scroll up. Hold on. It's the highest in the last 12 hours.
Ooh,
That's us.
people tuning in for 12 to 4 watch.
The viewers have spoken.
Thank you. We are the best
We
watch.
are the best one.
What would be the Benthic buddies?
Benthic Buddies.
Oh yeah. That's what we were coined with.
ABB. Do any viewers have riddles for us?
Is this a shrimp in front of us?
Did anyone read The Hobbit?
More shrimp.
No.
I shall zoom in.
No.
I didn't even
Get
watch
'em.
it.
Oh, I didn't watch
Get 'em.
it. It's one of my favorite books, though.
Ah.
There's this scene between Gollum and Bilbo where they sit there and they say like 20 riddles back and forth to each
Oh.
other.
I thought you were
So-
going to say chartreuse.
No.
Chartreuse.
I don't think they do it. They're sitting in the dark.
I have a
Brian.
riddle, but I told it on the last watch. Or the last other watch.
Oh, just.
So,
Oh yeah, you should
guess
tell
it's
them.
just Peyton and
You gotta get them in on it.
this is kind of hard. So you're walking along this road in a forest, and you come upon a fork in the road.
Mm.
And these two brothers live in the house that guard this path where the fork is, and there's the two paths, and there's one path that leads to happiness and rainbows and sunshine, and the other one leads to, you know, the opposite, death, destruction, all the things bad. So you've got to figure out which path is the right path. Now the catch is the two brothers that live in the house are identical twins, and one of the brothers lies all the time, and the other brother tells the truth. So everything one of the brothers says is everything is true, and the other one's always constantly lies. Everything is the opposite. So you knock on the door, and you don't know which brother answers. So you have to figure out, you get one question to ask. You have to figure out what's the one question you can ask either brother that opens the door to figure out which is the right path.
So you can only ask one of the brothers, not both of them?
You only get one brother and one
one.
question, and
And
you
you-
don't know which brother is going to open the door.
Have any of you read The Labyrinth or seen The Labyrinth with David Bowie?
No.
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 I
They-
saw a Labyrinth movie, but it was in Spanish. Definitely didn't have David
Oh.
Bowie in it.
No, David Bowie is in a movie called The Labyrinth, and it's based off of a book. And I don't know if any viewers have seen it. It's like a late 80s, maybe early 90s movie, and it is so entertaining. But there's one point where in the labyrinth, the girl walking through comes across this like situation, and so she has to solve this riddle. And David Bowie is in this movie, so I recommend seeing it.
What riddle?
The riddle you just said.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know all the riddles.
I really like riddles.
I feel like you could ask any question that is a true statement.
No.
No, that would be for the
Because
one
if you
brother.
ask,
Yeah.
is the one brother, whatever brother, is this the right path? The one that tells the truth will say, yeah, this one's the right path, and the other brother will tell you the wrong one. So you still want to know for sure.
Can you ask, like, is your brother here, since they're both always there? And one will say yes, and the other one would say no.
So you determine which brother it is, but you don't know which path is right.
Well, if you get the lying brother,
But you don't know if you're going to get him.
What if you ask him, are you lying?
If
You
ask,
only get one question.
Oh.
yeah.
But I think you guys are on the right track. You would ask them, would the other brother tell the truth?
You are on the right track.
Why can't you just ask
Something
a
like that?
multi-part question? Like a very long sentence.
Would the other brother tell me the truth on what this path does? Something like that.
Sounds like it's...
Nah,
I just don't know the exact verbiage
Feel like
yet.
not that, but you're onto
Kinda,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Okay, sure.
I'm gonna zoom out for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey Moya, thanks for turning in from New Zealand.
Oh,
Viewers have all sorts of guesses, but none of them are right yet.
From the stream online?
Mm-hmm.
oh, so you know the answer, Brian?
No?
I do, but I will not say it.
Brian, is there a way I could view your screen?
Nope.
Become an
wondering.
SCF.
Yep. There's a whole lot of steps involved.
So Miles left this fidget cube here, and I've never actually played with one.
It's awesome.
They're like, it's
Addicting.
so addicting.
It feels weird when you don't have it. Yeah, I had that last cruise. I was side scanning.
Oh, the cubes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like all the different things.
How much longer do we have on mapping this area?
Probably
It's
another-
up to science.
Yep.
How wide of an area have we covered? I know it was 18 long, correct? Or 18 meters.
I might jump the wrong way. Oh no, I did the right way.
This summer, one of the viewers said, ask the brothers if they have a goat, cabbage, and a wolf. They've been tuning in.
Yes. That's a Dan thing, huh?
That's a good riddle too.
How wide is our grid so far?
Let me check.
Yes.
So for the viewer who's asking, what are we looking at right now?
Why are my
You are
units
looking
in
at
feet?
a little bit of seafloor and the deep blue of the ocean. Because if you go to channel 2,
We are at
you can
4.7
see
meters.
Argus's view of Hercules. And you'll see some flashes going from emanating from underneath Hercules. And that's because Hercules is taking a
So if we do another
lot of
meter, it'll be
pictures.
to port side, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
that
yeah,
will.
let's do another, say 1 more meter to get those. There's a couple, like one big sponge that's just over.
Yes.
You think that would be in the within the next meter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we get to that other sponge there, I'll see if it's in the picture.
Okay.
And that'll give us a good
Yeah. Idea full
dimensional,
capture.
you know,
Okay.
example, I guess.
Sounds good.
So those bright flashes emanating from the bottom of Hercules are
It's been
pictures being taken. And those pictures will, in the future, be stitched together and created a 3D model of the area that we're checking out.
Can
Yeah.
Can
Well,
I only go for a max?
So originally I was going to do a meter, and I did the meter spacing on the first one, and I didn't think we had enough. The overlap was not good because this, I don't know, I didn't like that overlap, so I shortened it to a half a meter. Yeah.
can we pull up the gauge cam again on Argus on your,
Oh,
just for a second? Argus
Says-
utility,
why does it say
because we want a utility.
I was on utility?
Oh. Never mind then. Oh, because you have to do all take. Did you hit that one?
I thought I did.
Oh.
Okay.
There you go.
Have you been watching? Did we see the sponge? Crap.
No.
Someone distracted me.
I got distracted too.
It was those brothers.